I got my guy. Been knowing this brother for a number of years now, man. He's been putting in the work. I love what he's doing right now with Sports Illustrated, covering our very own Memphis Grizzlies as they get ready to resume the NBA at the end of July. He covers the team, man, for SI. We're going to talk to my main man right now joining us, Anthony Sain, joining the Essential
What's
AF
what?
podcast show. What's going on, my guy?
Man, I'm good, bro. How y'all doing?
Hey man, we blessed, man. Just appreciate you, dog, joining the show. I know you're a busy man, man. I just appreciate you, having these few minutes to share with us, my guy.
All good, all good.
No doubt, no doubt. But let's jump right into it, man. Let's talk about the NBA is back, man. The end
Oh
of
yeah.
July. We're gonna have a 22 team tournament down there in Orlando. They're gonna resume with 8 regular season games, and then a possible play-in tournament to determine the A seed in the East and the West. So you got your top 13 Western Conference teams, including the Memphis Grizzlies, and you also got your top 9 Eastern Conference teams to make up the 22 teams going down there. How do you feel about the format, and do you like the Grizz chances down there as far as maybe making some noise in the first round matchup, maybe?
It had to grow on me. I didn't like how they were setting it up at first when they first were
I
talking
can't
about
hear
doing it.
him.
It was y'all can hear me at all?
Yeah, I can just fine. Go ahead, bro.
Okay. When they first started talking about doing it, I wasn't a fan of it because it seemed like they were trying to set it up for New Orleans or Portland to get into the playoffs. But once the details came out and they pretty much said that they were that the Grizzlies' advantage they had in the standings would play into the format. I like that part. It would be pretty hard for the Grizzlies not to make the play in game because they would totally have to be out of eighth or ninth place for that to happen. And with 8 games remaining, it'll be pretty hard to do. Plus, if there is a play-in situation, the Grizzlies would have to lose twice to whoever they're playing to, while only having to beat them once. Plus the fact that they're 3.5 games up. If they can get one game up on the other teams behind them, they won't need to play in at all. They'll just go straight to the playoffs. But as far as the playoff matchup goes, if you're looking at playing the number one seeded Lakers, no one would probably predict the Grizzlies to win. I think it'd be a fun matchup though. I think for those of us that saw the Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary, that final season they matched up against the Nets, and it was I remember it, historically, and I remember it in the documentary. But it was a good matchup. I think the Bulls swept them, but the Nets team was pretty good that year. They were young, just like the Grizzlies, and they gave them a good matchup. I think the Grizzlies could probably play them very good. We actually blew the Lakers out the last time we played them, but not saying that'll happen again. But I think it'll be a fun matchup.
Absolutely. No doubt. Me being the big Bulls fan that I was, I remember that series, man. And that was a hard fought first round matchup with the Bulls that year and the New Jersey Nets. Man, the Nets, they play hard this series, man, even though they
Right.
got swept. Absolutely, man. We're being joined right now by my guy, Anthony Sain, beat writer for your Memphis Grizzlies for Sports Illustrated. And let's just talk about that a little more as far as the tournament coming up at the end of July. So right now, there's been about what a 3 month layoff so far because they stopped playing regular season games back. But March 11th was the last regular season game.
Right.
So we've had
Hmm.
about 3 month, 4 month layoff when you talk about the end of July. Does that type of layoff, a 4 month layoff, does that hurt or help a team like the Grizz when you're talking about guys that were hurt, back in March as far as newly acquired Justice Winslow and guys like that, and our guys that were hurt, just as far as back then, man. So does a layoff like that, does that hurt or help a young team when they resume play back in and starting in July?
Um, I think in the Grizzlies' particular situation, I think it'll help because we were going through a rough stretch right before the season was suspended. I can't remember how many games they had lost, but the injuries were piling on, and they were just kind of wearing thin. As far as you had Jaron out, you had Brandon Clark out. You were hoping to get Justice Winslow in. I think Justice Winslow was going to make his debut that weekend against Portland when the season was suspended. So I think the fact that they're going to be getting those guys back, plus they're a young team, man. They've got young legs. They're full of energy. They sit up and drink Coke and eat candy all day. So they they can do things that older guys like us can't do. I think the fact that they're going to get those 8 seeding games will help some of the other teams. So it really won't get them an advantage when it comes down to playoff time because they're going to have a full training camp. as well as they're talking about throwing around having actual preseason games, which I think would be weird. They have 2 to 3 exhibition games they'll be playing in. So by the time they actually start the playoffs, you're looking at maybe 8 to 11 games before they actually play. So, but I think the Grizzlies will be fine because they're young guys. And these guys are fresh off of playing AAU 4 or 5 games a day. So I think they'll be fine.
Absolutely. Being joined right now by my guy, special guest, Anthony Sain. You can follow my man on Twitter right now at Sain Asylum. And like I said, you mentioned the young core of the Grizz, getting Justice Winslow healthy, getting Brandon Clark back, getting Jaren Jackson Jr., getting them going along with John Morant. So it should make for a very fun, series, man. Whatever the Grizz whatever happens down there in Orlando at the end of July, man. Like I said, everybody's looking forward to the return of NBA basketball. But let's talk about Anthony. Let's talk about the worst case scenario. Let's say COVID-19 is still going on, the pandemic going on, and everything. What happens? What happens when, let's say, somebody from the Lakers, LeBron or Anthony Davis, somebody like that test positive, a big name test positive for COVID-19. Do we shut it down altogether at that point and just try to try it over in next year? What happens? What do you think happens?
Well, Commissioner Adam Silver has pretty much flat out said that they're not ending the season because of.
Oh, did we lose Anthony? You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. You can hear me, bro?
Okay, go ahead, bro. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Commissioner Adam Silver has pretty much said that he's not ending the season for guys testing positive, and basically said if you get it, you're going home, but we're going to keep this thing going. So I think because of that, guys are going to be extra precautious, and they're going to take care of the business they need to take care of, and they're going to let guys bring their family along eventually. I'm not sure that's going to happen from the beginning, but I think guys are just going to do what they have to do. Because they've even thrown around having replacement players, where if teams their roster gets depleted, they have to bring extra guys up. So you can see some weird things happen between now and then. You can see a situation where maybe LeBron is not with the Lakers, or Anthony Davis isn't with the Lakers, or Giannis isn't with the Bucks. But I think there's just going to be an incentive for those guys to do what they have to do. Because imagine the backlash from a fan base if a team is missing a key player because he couldn't quarantine during the time that they're up there in Orlando.
Absolutely. Being joined right now by my guy, Anthony Sain, covering the team, our Memphis Grizzlies, man. So Anthony, are you going to be able to go down there to Orlando to cover the team? Like, how's that going to work?
I've been throwing that around to see. I haven't got much response on it. It seems like in theory they could let us in, media guys. I don't, because we wouldn't have an interaction with the players. We'd just be sitting somewhere spread out in the arena.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, as far as our protection, that's not the biggest issue. It's the players' protection. And we did some press conferences right when COVID-19 first hit, where we were separated from the players. So doing the interview with them where they're not within 6 feet or whatever amount of feet you want to put, that's not hard to do. But I'm not sure if I was able to go, I definitely would be there. There'll be something historical and remarkable to see as the NBA
Absolutely.
coming back, during a pandemic like that.
Absolutely. And Anthony, speaking of historical and remarkable things going on in our country right now, bro, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you your thoughts on everything that's going on in our country today, man, as far as the protests, the George Floyd murder, just everything that's going on, man. What are some of your thoughts about everything that's happening?
I'll try to sum it up as best I can, because if I didn't have a time limit, I could talk, forever about this type of stuff. A lot of people don't really understand the impact of race relations and how they affect Black people, man. And as a parent, it's hard to have these difficult conversations with your children. I've got a 18-year-old and I've got a 6-year-old, and have those two conversations with those two. It's hard, man. My daughter's 18 years old. My son is 6. My daughter's getting ready to go off to college. She's going to be exposed to. She's going to school at NTSU, so she's going to be exposed to a totally different city than Memphis is, And just for my son loves police officers, and having to explain these type of things to him. He's asking why people saying bad things about police officers, and I got to explain it to him. And then having to reel him back in and not make him think that every police officer is bad, those type of things. But as far as the protests, I'm excited about it. I look at it like I pulled for the military. Like I haven't been to the protests. I'm not on the front line doing anything. But I find people that are my friends that I know have been protesting. I buy them lunch. I pray for them. I try to encourage them because I look at it like the military. Those are people that are out fighting battles for me, while I'm asleep. So I totally support it. I support any type of protest, whether it be peaceful, whether it be violent, whether it be whatever it is. I support it. I tell people all the time, you can't beat a dog down and then tell him he can bite back. He can only bark but not bite. I think
No
that
doubt.
when someone's being oppressed, I don't think there are any rules to that game. Once they decide to bite back, so to speak, I don't think there's any rules to it. I'm not going to say, well, I wish there only be peaceful because this nation wasn't founded off of peace. The American history has very few peaceful moments in it. So I'm not going to take now as the time to say, well, we need to be peaceful. I think that it should happen by whatever means people see to retaliate.
There it is. That's my guy, Anthony Sain. Go follow him on Twitter right now at Sain Asylum. The guy does great work, man, covering the Grizzlies, covering the NBA for Sports Illustrated, man. Anthony, listen, man, when the games start back again at the end of July, hey, we gotta get you back on, bro. You'll come back on and
Oh
holler
yes,
us
sir.
out.